actually it's gonna be my first time as a public speaker.
You go.
So, as Gabor wrote on Facebook that you're gonna hear today award-winning speakers, well, that's just not me, okay?
In the future.
Yeah, okay, so I have to confess something to you. I have been a workaholic. And this year it's gonna be 10 years since I've been working for one of Krakow's companies, corporation. And 2 years ago I have experienced the most difficult time at work. I was sent for a job rotation program, which meant that for 6 months I was supposed to do a different position that I was normally doing. And after these 6 months I would go back to my normal position. But in reality it ended up to me the way that I was doing 2 positions at the same time. So you can imagine that very quickly I was working 10 hours per day. I was working during weekends. I had no time for my family or my friends, and I was even working when I was sick. I had a fever, so I was at my laptop instead of being at bed. There was a situation that when I was going on holiday on Sunday and my flight was departing at noon, I would still be working, you know, until Saturday evening. And of course I would take a laptop with me. So my health started to deteriorate, and I was thinking, if the situation will not change, something bad will happen to me. Luckily, since I'm standing in front of you, nothing bad happened, and the rescue came from the source of the problem, which is my company. Because very soon before my job rotation started, my department had a 10th anniversary, and my boss's boss paid for our workshops on social skills. It was a surprise for us, like a bonus. So when we came to the workshop, it turned out it's going to be a workshop about improvisation. Improvisation is simply doing something without a script, and when you are on a stage, you take a word of suggestion from the audience and you play a scene which might turn into a series of scenes or a story, and you play it with your scene partners. Improvisation also teaches us that you are using the resources you have at that time, and usually the resource you always have with you is yourself. So the lesson from improvisation is that you are the best resource, and you yourself can always manage in any situation. So at this workshop we were presented with some short games and the rules of improvisation, and I really fell in love with it. And this workshop also opened a gate in my brain to my childhood memories, because when I was a little girl, my father was watching sketch comedy on TV. We call it cabaret in Poland. And you know, he was laughing so much, and since I'm a person that likes to make other people laugh and likes to have fun with other people, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have this sketch comedy group when I will grow up. And when I went to high school, I met a girl there who became my best friend. And we had a common sense of humor, so we were planning to have a sketch comedy group when we will grow up. But of course, what happened? Life happened. I finished high school, I went to university, I graduated, and I went to work. And I did nothing towards the direction of a sketch comedy group. So this improv workshop reminded me of my childhood dream, but of course there was still a risk that I will do nothing about improvisation as well. So luckily, the next week after the workshop, one of the trainers came to our office for the invoice, and I started to talk with him, and he told me that there is a place in Kraków where improvisation is taking place. It's Artifact in Daiwur Street, maybe some of you know it. So I went there for a jam, improv jam, and again I fell in love with what I saw. And I knew that it's gonna be the place where I'm gonna spend the rest of my life, let's say. So, ladies and gentlemen, 2 years after these events, I'm standing in front of you, having my own improvisation group with whom I perform regularly in Kraków, and not only in Kraków. I have some other side projects regarding improvisation, and I'm also starting to be an improv trainer. And now I can leave job earlier because I have a rehearsal with my group. I take days off because I have performance in improv. So, as you can see, I stopped treating work as my priority. So yeah, and there are also 2 other things that improvisation helped me with. First of all, I had problems with expressing emotions, especially negative ones, because I had no problem, showing love or happiness to people. But for example, if somebody hurt me, I wouldn't be able to tell the person that they hurt me. And expressing emotions, also and negative ones, is necessary, it's healthy for you, so we should do it. So thanks to being on stage as a character, I was able to express these emotions and rework them, and now I have less problems with expressing emotions, also negative ones, to people. And second thing that improvisation gave me is it increased my level of confidence, because 2 years ago I wouldn't be able to stand here in front of you. My voice would be shaking and I would be panicking. But apart from that, I had a lot of complexes. I'm not saying I still don't have them. But one of the rules of improv is acceptance and saying yes. So when I'm on stage with my group, I spend a lot of hours with the same people, and we expose ourselves. We are vulnerable. When you, for example, think, oh, I have a big belly or I have a shitty voice and so on, these people were gonna see it, but hey, they will accept it. So since they accept you, why don't you accept yourself? So yeah, these are the lessons that I learned from improvisation. Thank you very much for your attention, and I wish all of you that you will find a hobby that will change your life. Thanks.